Hey, welcome to Hebrew from Zero, lesson number 14. Today we'll learn about the most common sentence structure in Hebrew. Let's begin. So we're gonna cover 7 structures. The first one gonna be noun adjective. That you use if you want to refer to a noun and you know the adjective about him. For example, pretty boy. You know a boy that is pretty, so you just say pretty boy. In Hebrew, the adjective comes after the noun in that case. So you say ילד יפה. ילד mean boy, יפה mean pretty. Another example gonna be tasty food. Again, you already know that the food is tasty. So in English you'll say tasty food. In Hebrew you'll say אוכל טעים. אוכל mean food, טעים mean tasty. Again, the adjective comes after the noun. The next structure is gonna be when you wanna say about the noun a new adjective, a new information about the noun. In English, the structure will be the noun is adjective. For example, the boy is pretty. In Hebrew, we don't use to be form in the present tense. We don't use is, are in the present tense. We just say the adjective after the noun. That in Hebrew is the letter Hey. It will always come before the noun at the same word. So in English we'll say the boy is pretty. In Hebrew we'll say הילד יפה. Another example. In English we'll say the food is tasty. In Hebrew we'll say האוכל טעים. The first structure is when we want to say a noun doing a verb and we want to describe the verb. So in English it will be the noun, verb, adjective, or it will be the noun is verb, adjective. Again, in Hebrew we don't have to be form in the present tense. So for example, in English we'll say the boy eats fast. Or in other tense we'll say the boy is eating fast. In Hebrew we always gonna say הילד, the boy, אוכל, eats fast, מהר. הילד אוכל מהר. Another example. The man walks slowly, or the man is walking slowly. In Hebrew, we'll say האיש הולך לאט. האיש, the man, הולך, walks, לאט, slowly. The adjective will come after the verb that it describes like in English. The fourth structure is when we want to say a new information about the noun in the past. So in English we'll say the noun was adjective. So for example, the boy was pretty. In Hebrew we'll say הילד היה יפה. היה in Hebrew mean was, and I did a complete video about this verb and how to use it in the past and the future. Another example, the food was tasty. האוכל היה טעים. As you see, the structure is very much the same in English. The fifth structure gonna be when you want to say something new about the noun that will be true in the future. So you'll say the noun will be adjective. So for example, in English we'll say the boy will be pretty. In Hebrew we'll say הילד יהיה יפה. Again, I made a complete video about all the יהיה verb in Hebrew in the past and the future. It doesn't exist in the present. Another example, האוכל יהיה טעים. The food will be tasty. So the next structure gonna be the subject doing a verb to an object. So in Hebrew the structure will be very much the same as in English, but we don't use is or are before a verb. We just say the verb, and we don't indicate the undefined article in Hebrew. We just say the object. So for example, in English we'll say the man is eating a banana. In Hebrew we'll say האיש אוכל banana, without is and without a. Sometimes we'll put a prefix before the object to indicate the role of the verb. For example, in English we'll say the boy go to school. In Hebrew we'll say הילד הולך לבית ספר. La is the prefix for to. So the last structure will gonna be when we wanna say that the subject is doing a verb to the object, an object that we already know. So the difference between Hebrew and English is that we don't put to be before a verb. We don't put is or are before a verb. For example, in English we'll say the boy is kicking the ball. In Hebrew we'll say הילד בועט בכדור. The prefix be used to indicate that the action is taking place on the object. We'll see another example. The man is eating the banana. In Hebrew we'll say האיש אוכל את הבננה. את a is a prefix that we use before object that we already know, and it answers the question on whom the action is taking place. So the man is eating the banana. So before the banana, in Hebrew we need to say et ha. More on that on later videos. So that's it for today. The most important things I want you to remember from this lesson is, first, we don't have the verb to be in present tense in Hebrew. We don't use it. Second, we don't use the verb to be with a verb. Third, before an object, you don't need to use in Hebrew a or an like in English. Just say the object. All the prefixes and the connection words and all of that we'll cover in later videos, so you don't need to memorize them. You just, for right now, need only to know the basic structure that is pretty much like in English in most cases. Good luck, people.